Still wondering why. The best motherfucker I was stepping the ring and the rights and this and all kinds of things. I think I'm like a big ass baby for a pound, but see my skills got me covered. So bring me your cheese stars and watch me get smarter. And keep it clear and speak that can get harder. Don't let me down with a half of joint over. And after I can beat the job, I'll stand up. Another misfortunate victim. I hate to see it go like that, but y'all can go leave it. That's just another close shot. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Oh my God, how y'all doing? It is time. It is time to get busy. Welcome to After the Fight. I'm your host, Rick Higgins. That is Mr. Roy Jones Jr., Unstoppable. Mr. Unstoppable. Yes, back in the day, he was unstoppable. But, man, he's still a bad dude, man. Ladies and gentlemen, usually what we do here after the fight, you know what I'm saying? We usually do, we put out the news that happened after the fight of last week. We're going to do that, though. We're going to do that. What happened last week, the fights of last weekend. We usually get into that, tell you the news, who won, all that good stuff, what's next, boom, 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 boom. But before we get into that, we need to put out a story. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think that this fight, now I know you've heard, I don't know if you've heard yet, but Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis are fighting in April 15th. All right? I don't think this fight is going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Tank has been a bad boy. Tank has did some things. And I think our boy Tank has did way too much. Way too much. Tank has done way too much. Tank, he got the DVs, domestic violence cases. He got hit and run case. Hit and run case. You might be like, hit and run. Yes, we know about the domestic violence case he had in Florida with his baby mama or girlfriend, whatever, that she said it didn't happen. All right, whatever. Okay, great. But we do know that he got into an accident in Baltimore, in case y'all don't know. He got in a car accident in Baltimore, a hit and run that actually hurt somebody. He hurt a pregnant female, and he ain't trying to help her. He ain't trying to help her. He ain't trying to help people in the car. He just, hit him with his Lamborghini and rode off. For those that don't know, let's get into the story, all right? For those that don't know, let's get into the story. It's better for me to just read the story to you instead of me telling you. You know what I'm saying? Because like, oh, he lying and he just making up stuff. All right, let's see. Let's see if I'm making up stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It says here, next court date scheduled for boxer Gervonta Davis in hit and run case. All right, let's get into it. So anyway, matter of fact, let's do this first. Let's watch the video. That's good. Let us watch it. Let's see if they watch. Let's watch it. Let's see. You gonna let us watch it? Let's see. You gonna let us watch it? You gonna let us watch it? You gonna let us watch it? Yes.
Renowned Baltimore boxer Gervonta "Tank" Davis continues to fight legal troubles after he was charged in a hit-and-run crash. Davis's case was on the docket at Circuit Court in Baltimore City today. Ajobber tells us prosecutors now say that this case will be pushed back a few months. Ajobber.
Hi, good evening, Vic. Well, prosecutors say this case will be pushed back to March of 2022. Police say Gervonta "Tank" Davis was driving a Lamborghini truck when it crashed into another vehicle. He said he wasn't supposed to be driving, and he also left the scene. Boxing champ Gervonta "Tank" Davis will now have to focus on his fights in the ring and also in the courtroom. Almost 1 year ago, early in the morning on November 5th, this surveillance video captured the moment a vehicle crashed into a fence at Washington and Martin Luther King Boulevards. The vehicle was a Lamborghini truck, and Baltimore City police say the driver was boxer Gervonta Davis. Before the impact with the fence, police say the vehicle ran a red light and hit a Toyota. 4 people were hurt, but not seriously. In this exclusive video obtained by WJZ, you can see people get out of the Lamborghini and vanish. Police later listed several charges against Davis, including 4 counts of failure to immediately return and remain at a scene of an accident and driving on a suspended license. The crash happened just after Davis retained his WBA lightweight championship. Flyers circulated on social media about a celebration for him at a Baltimore nightclub earlier that night. A law enforcement source told WJZ that the crash happened less than 30 minutes after he left the club. Davis continues to prepare for his fights in the ring alongside this legal battle. If he's convicted on all 14 counts, he could face more than 7 years behind bars. Now, WJZ reached out to Davis's attorneys. We will update you once we hear back. Live at 6, Ajobber for WJZ.
So, there you go. You got the story. Now, he has 14 counts. 14 counts, all right? 14 counts. We already got the story. Let's go in here. Davis faced the following charges. 4 counts of failure to immediately return and remain at the scene of accident involving bodily injury, 1 year. 1 count of failure of driver involved in accident to render reasonable assistance to injured person, 60 days. 1 count of failure of vehicle driver involved in accident to furnish required ID and license, 60 days. 1 count of failure of vehicle driver involved in accident to exhibit license to police, 60 days. 1 failure of vehicle driver involved in accident to report to nearest police, 60 days. 1 count of failure of vehicle driver in accident to locate and notify owner of unattended property of damage, 60 days. 1 count of failure of vehicle driver in accident to furnish required ID information in writing on unattended vehicle property, 60 days. 1 count of person driving motor vehicle and highway on suspended license and privilege, 1 year. Number 9, 1 count of person driving motor vehicle on highway on revoked license and privilege, 1 year. 1 count of driving motor vehicle on highway without required license and authorization, 60 days. And 1 count of driver failed to stop at steady circular red signal. All right. Davis continues to prepare for his fights in the ring alongside this legal battle. If convicted on all 14 counts, he could face more than 7 years in prison. It's not the first time Davis had a brush with the law. Yes, he's had other issues. He's had other issues. Now, this is what the problem is, ladies and gentlemen. You're like, okay, well, he's a boxer, professional boxer. He's going to, probably do community service, blah, 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 whatever. Listen. No. See, listen. He's already paid off some of the people that was in the car. He paid them off, you know what I'm saying? They took the little money and ran away. He hurt a female in the car, a pregnant female who's now disabled. The female that he hit was pregnant, and now she's disabled from him hitting her. But here's another problem. There's a new DA in office in Baltimore. There's a new DA in office. You used to mess with Marilyn Mosby. Marilyn Mosby, Baltimore. She's gone. She was the one that let people get off. Whatever. It's okay. Just don't do it again. No. There is a new sheriff in town, ladies and gentlemen, and his name goes by Ivan Bates. And this boy is not playing no games. Let's get into who he's going to be seeing in Baltimore. What an Ivan Bates victory means for the Baltimore State's Attorney's Office. He's a bad dude. I'm telling you, he's a bad dude. Ivan Bates will be Baltimore's top new prosecutor after officially winning the race for city state's attorney, a post he has been widely expected to secure since his victory in a tough 3-way primary this summer. Bates was unopposed in the general election. Early returns Tuesday night showed he was reaping 98% of the vote against a write-in option. He had defeated 2-term incumbent Marilyn Mosby, who has been a magnet for controversy in the Democratic primary this July. Yes, he beat Marilyn Mosby. This dude right here is not going to play no games with Tank in March. Bates' victory marks a major change in the city's approach to crime. You know, Baltimore got a lot of crime. Bates contrasted himself from Mosby by pledging to restart prosecutions of low-level crimes, which Mosby halted during the pandemic, and to pursue jail time in all illegal gun possession cases. The primary showed that voters were ready for change, said Roger Hartley, the dean of the University of Baltimore's College of Public Affairs. It was an extraordinary victory, Hartley said. I think it was based on an interest in change in the workings of the office. Bates, Hartley said, has a major opportunity is to restore a sense of legitimacy and exciting purpose to the office for those who are looking for change. Mosby took office in 2014, upset, framed herself as a progressive prosecutor who would look for alternatives to incarceration in certain cases. For example, her office stopped prosecuting low-level offenses such as drug possession and prostitution during the pandemic. A 2021 study found there were few rearrests for more serious crimes after the policy was implemented. But business owners and some residents criticized the policy as encouraging lawlessness. Telling you, man. Bates has said he will reverse the non-prosecution policy and seek jail time in all illegal gun possession cases. He also wants to begin pursuing charges against squeegee workers who often approach vehicles in traffic to offer a window cleaning if they don't accept services and stop the practice. I think Ivan Bates is going to start cleaning up Baltimore. It's not looking good. I'm telling you, this guy right here is about business. Hartley said Bates will have to work quickly to build the political capital to make difficult choices. All right? Fulfilling those promises that he made on the campaign trail will bring legitimacy, but it will also bring conflict, he said. Heather Workin, the executive director of the University of Baltimore School of Law Center for Criminal Justice Reform, warned that using incarceration more extensively could have painful consequences for the city's most vulnerable people. We have to have humility about the limits of the criminal justice system in addressing these public safety challenges, Workin said. Taking such a hard line about, for example, gun possession equals jail fails to take into consideration the very real reasons why people feel vulnerable and possess guns in the first place. You should be able to get license for your gun. You should be walking out with just legal guns. Nothing. What? Anyway, let's finish. Okay. Bates has said he supports alternatives to incarceration in some cases. Squeegee workers, for example, might be offered a warning and an opportunity to enter a diversion program before facing more serious consequences. Bates also wants to institute a community court to handle low-level offenses and offer resources. Workin said tying social services to legal consequences can still harm vulnerable people by putting them into the criminal justice system. Workin, you just don't want to clean up Baltimore. That's what it sounds like. You just don't want to clean up Baltimore. You like Baltimore being the way it fucking is. I think Mr. Bates he wants to clean up Baltimore. And the only way to clean up Baltimore is that motherfuckers know you ain't getting away with shit. I think we have to be honest about what the system can and cannot accomplish, and we have a very long way to go in building up the services and infrastructure of care for those same residents that he's talking about, she said. Listen, I'm going to tell you how serious to do this. This dude said that he thinks there should be more prisons. Ivan Bates says he thinks there should be more prisons. And you know what I think? I somewhat agree. I do think that there are some people that are in prison right now that shouldn't be. Like, there's some motherfuckers in there that it's like, dude, come on now. He did his time. He did his time, okay? He did his time. You see he's reformed down. He's reformed. Let him go. You're taking up space. Make room for motherfuckers that need to be in there. You know what I'm saying? Make some room for motherfuckers that need to be in there. The reason you're not prosecuting motherfuckers because you know you ain't got room for motherfuckers. That's why make room. There's people in there that should not be in there that we know they're reformed, or if they're in there for drug possession, all right, like little drug possession, not like heavy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like little drug possession. Let them out. Let them out. Let them out. But if they pushing like cases of like loads of fucking coke and all type of shit, let them stay in there. But if it's like little shit, let them out. Make room for the real criminals. You know what I'm saying? But he said that there should be more prisons. More. I kind of agree. Bates will also have to rebuild the state attorney's office, which under Mosby faced persistent staffing problems and contend with his predecessor's legacy. Mosby was a polarizing figure from early in her first term when she brought charges against the police officers who were involved in arresting Freddie Gray, who died from injuries sustained in police custody in 2015. Mosby is now under indictment in federal court on charges of perjury and mortgage fraud. Prosecutors allege that Mosby lied about suffering a coronavirus-related financial setback in order to withdraw $90,000 from her city retirement account in 2020. She's also accused of failing to disclose a $45,000 IRS lien and making other false statements when she applied for mortgages on 2 Florida vacation homes. All right. So Mosby is gone. Mosby also sparred with other elected officials, especially Governor Larry Hogan, a Republican. Bates is likely to have an easy relationship with Wes Moore, a Democrat who won the race for Maryland governor. There's a massive opportunity for Ivan Bates to build strong ties with the new governor, who will almost definitely have a different perspective on Baltimore, Hartley said. Both voters will expect Bates to be visible and active in the fight against violent crime. Hartley said Warnken said Bates has a mandate to address Baltimore's crime problem, but that doesn't necessarily mean turning to more incarceration. I think he's going to. I think that's a mandate to be serious about addressing and reducing crime in the city, especially violence. And I think really doing that means having the courage to look at the evidence about what we know works. And that's not relying on incarceration as the answer to this problem. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now, this guy right here, Ivan Bates, is not Marilyn Mosby. Ivan Bates is a real tough dude. When it comes to crime, he is tough. He's ready to prosecute. He's ready to put you away. Got to put you away. Now, what Tank should have did was took a plea, like some time, like some little bit of jail time when Marilyn Mosby was in office. But nope. He didn't want it. It's a little bit. Just take. You know, you got to do a little bit of time, Tank. You got to do a little bit of time. No, he wanted house arrest. Tank wanted house arrest and community service. You done waited until this brother right here, the lights making you pay for crime. Ivan Bates, he believes in you paying back for what you did. I think Ivan Bates is going to make a name for himself. If you don't know who he is, you might want to look him up. If you don't know his record, you might want to look it up. I ain't got time to go into his record, but you might want to check this guy out. This guy is no joke. This guy is serious about defending the law. And he's going to defend it all the way, whether you like it or not. And it might affect, I'm not going to say it is, but it's a possibility that our boy Tank, Gervonta Tank Davis, is going to do some time. And he might miss his fight in April. I'm just preparing you now. He might miss his fight in April. There were reports There were reports that they weren't going to do anything until Tank was done with his court cases. Well, if you're going to go ahead and push this fight, I'm letting y'all know now, you might want to wait until after his court case in March because it might get real spicy. Keep your eyes open. It might get real spicy. You might be surprised what might happen. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into the fights of last weekend's fights. Let's get into it, all right? Shall we get into it? Let's get into it. Clavel versus Neri Plauder results. Jessica Neri Plauder unifies titles in war with Clem Clavel. Jessica Neri Plauder now has 2 belts at 108, 108 pounds following a tremendous battle with Clem Clavel. All right, let's get into it. Jessica Neri Plauder defeated Clem Clavel in a 10-round war tonight from Laval, Quebec, winning by unanimous decision to unify the WA NWC Junior Flyweight 108-pound titles. Judges scored the fight 96-94, 97-93, and 97-93. Bad Left Hook had the fight 96-94 for Neri Plauder on their unofficial card. Neri Plauder 29-2-3 came in as a pretty heavy underdog, likely owning most of the fact that Clavel 16-1-3 was unbeaten and had home field advantage in Quebec. But it was clear early that this was going to be no easy night for Clavel, which everyone knew both fighters probably suspected would be the case. Neri Plauder, who came in with the WA belt, did the more obvious damage in the bout, bloodying Clavel's nose and landing the cleaner, harder shots much of the time. But Clavel, who seemed likely to get down in the first 4 or even 5 rounds, stood her ground and fought her guts out, making this a possible toss-up and putting that home advantage on the spot. All right? But the judges came back with not even just the right cards. This arguably could have gone Clavel's way or been a draw. But with cards that reflected the fight, it wasn't just the right scoring, it was good scoring. There's already chatter about a rematch, simply because this fight delivered in the ring. This is an early short-list candidate for Women's Fight of the Year at the very least. If you compare it to recent years, there aren't many fights that are this competitive and this hard-fought, so there's no reason to think this won't be brought up again in December. All right, so so Neri Plauder came out victorious in Canada over the home girl. You know, she was at home, fight at home. She had to go into somebody else's home and winning. That chick is bad. That's a bad chick right there. And like I said, man, she got the belts. 2 belts and 108. Talk about rematch. Let's do it. Let's run it back. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's move on. KSI starches FaZe temper. Results, highlights, news, and updates. All right. So anyway, man, KSI and FaZe temper, Misfits, Misfit boxing. They went at it, man. The worlds of social media, gaming, and reality TV are set to collide in the boxing ring today, with various characters looking to increase their followers and make a buck through their perversion of the sweet science. If you like any of these folks or are just morbidly fascinated by the code of celebrity, here's your place to see some swing sloppy punches at each other until they gas out. Tonight's fair is MF and Dawson X Series 004, which is headlined by the wildly popular KSI, owner of Misfit Boxing. He's taking on FaZe temper, a pro gamer who was he was supposed to be fighting Dillian Dennis, but Dennis pulled out last week. KSI is arguably responsible for this current trend of celebrity boxing. He got the ball rolling on all this just before the pandemic when he fought Logan Paul in a white-collar boxing event. Those two ran it back under pro rules and Dawson fighting to a draw. Now we have KSI and the Paul brothers drawing more attention than most UFC fight night cards. What a world. Yes, these guys are putting their names in boxing. I actually like KSI. I think KSI is pretty damn decent. He takes it serious. And I also think Jake Paul takes it serious too. And I think Jake Paul is going to be fighting Tommy Fury for what I heard in February. I think like either Saudi Arabia or what else? What else did I hear? Saudi Arabia. or some other place. But it's probably gonna be Saudi Arabia. I think it's gonna be Saudi Arabia, okay? So either way, the results of the fight. Misfit Boxing Cruiserweight Champion KSI defeats FaZe Temple by KO in the first round. First round, okay? He knocked him out. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna do the video. I'm not gonna do all that. Misfit Light Heavyweight Championship. Slim defeats Tom Zanetti by unanimous decision 40-37, 39-37, and 39-38. All right. Cruiserweight Salt Pappy defeats Josh Breckner via KO round 2. All right. Knocked him out in round 2. And light heavyweight Mr. Opponent Luis Alcaraz Pineda defeats B Dave by unanimous decision 30-27, 30-25, and 30-25. All right. And Cruiserweight Swarms defeats Ryan Taylor by technical knockout, doctor stoppage in round 1. And super lightweight Ellie Brooke defeats Faith Ordway by TKO by TKO in round 1. All right. Light heavyweight Idris Virgo defeats Anthony Taylor via unanimous decision 40-32 3 times. All right. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, like we were just talking about, Tank Davis versus Ryan Garcia deal appears done. All right. Yeah, they showed off the contract, blah, blah, blah. It looks like it might be a done deal. Okay. What else do we got? Oh, also, let's get to this. Adrian Broner is fighting February 25th. Now, they've already replaced Ivan Redcash. They replaced it with Hank Lundy. Hammer and Hank Lundy, February 25th, pay-per-view, what is it called? BK Entertainment, BK, whatever, man. Whatever. Black BLK Prime. I'm sorry. BLK Prime. They'll be fighting on BLK Prime, $39.99, February 25th. And like I said, also, man, Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury. Looks like it'll be a done deal, February 25th. All right. So look, man, you got 2 big fights February 25th. You got Broner versus Lundy, BLK Prime, and you got Jake Paul, Tommy Fury, February 25th. So it's gonna be definitely 2 pay-per-views. Which one you gonna buy? Which one? Should I buy both? I'm gonna buy both. I'm buying both. I don't care. I'm buying both. Anyway, let's get to the next one. Ajobber versus Shaw, full fight video highlights, results. F.A. Ajobber defeats Stephen Shaw. Johnny Rice stops Guido Vianello. And hey, that was a pretty, it was kind of a bore. It was kind of like, I watched it. It was, you know, it wasn't what I expected. I expected somebody to get knocked out, but that didn't happen. Anyway, F.A. Ajobber and Stephen Shaw had a chance to impress tonight in an ESPN main event, but neither heavyweight really did. With Ajobber winning an unanimous decision over 10 rounds in a indisputable, boring affair. Seems kind of boring. I mean, if you just like jabs and, you know, whatever, it's up to you. People, some boxing fans like watching, you know, technical boxing, and some just like something like knockouts. You know, it just depends on what mood you in. Okay, anyway, Ajobber got the win on scores of 96-94 from all 3 judges. We unofficially scored it 98-92 for Ajobber, but hey, maybe that gave Ajobber too much credit, or maybe Shaw not enough. It doesn't matter. The real judges had their say. Speaking of the official cards, it turns out that Ajobber needed to close strong to secure this one, as he was down 58-56 on all 3 cards after 6 rounds. He won the remainder of the rounds on each card. Wow. All right. So there we go. That's scorecards. Whether Ajobber 17-1-13 truly closed strong or simply nicked those rounds is a matter of some debate. But I felt he controlled the tempo pretty well after the 4th, and Shaw 18-1-13 just didn't do enough. It's not that Ajobber ever did anything special here, and neither of them came out looking like a real heavyweight contender, but Shaw just didn't do enough to convince the judges, okay? Ajobber 28 will look to keep his momentum for whatever it's worth, going as 2023 now opens up for him. For the 30-year-old Shaw, I thought he'd be kicking himself even if the judges hadn't scored like I did. like I did, because there seemed to be so many chances for him to do more. But with this having turned out to be a very winnable fight on the official cards, I think he might really regret some of the tactical decisions made in this fight. This was very winnable. Yes, I think Shaw. I think Shaw should have, risked it. You gotta risk. You put yourself in the risk sometime. You know what I'm saying? I think he just didn't want to put himself out there to get caught by Ajobber. So you know what I'm saying? He boxed just a little too much. He didn't put himself out there too much. And Ajobber didn't put himself out there too much. It was kind of like just like, a jab fest. A jab fest, goes to body here and there. It just wasn't. I was expecting a knockout. I think people was expecting a knockout, but it did not go that way. So anyway, like I said, Ajobber moves on. I think Stephen Shaw will still get a chance to get on a big card. I don't think this fight, is going to put him out of it, get him out of there. I think he still has the opportunity to fight somebody, a big name in the heavyweight division. And Ajobber, like I said, he moves on. Let's see what he can do. But I don't think Shaw's going to be out the picture. I think he still has a pretty good resume, pretty good boxer. And I think somebody that will actually go out there and try to fight him, you know what I'm saying, like put themselves in his face, I think you'll see a better Shaw, a better Stephen Shaw than what you saw with Ajobber, okay? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. That is all the news. That is all the news. I'm your boy, Terry Higgins. It's after the fight. Do me a favor. Like, share, comment, please. It's free. I don't ask for nothing else. I just ask you to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Subscribe. That's it. Nothing else. That's it. I don't ask for no PayPals, no Cash Apps, no nothing. I do this shit because I like to do it. And if you like to do something, why do you need to be paid for? I mean, I got a check any damn way. This is what I do for pleasure. I get a check. I mean, if you feel generous enough to give brother something, you can put in a cash, like, hey man, you should put in a Cash App or something in the motherfucker. Maybe eventually I will. Maybe. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, like, share, comment, subscribe, hate. I don't care. You can do that too. It's free. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, this is After the Fight. I'm your host, Terry Higgins. Until next time, don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, there's some fights tonight. This weekend. Don't miss the fights. Don't miss the fight. There's some fights this weekend. We got a card on Showbox on Friday. We got Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith on Dazn. We got a Don King card. Don King will be fighting that Saturday. What's his name? Shoot. Either way, man. If you do this for me. If you do not have Fight TV, get Fight TV. If you're a true hardcore box fan, get Fight TV. Fight TV, okay? Fight TV, FITE TV. Because they do a lot of fights, amateur boxing, all that good stuff on Fight TV. The Don King fight will be on Fight TV. I want to say it's $19.99 for the Don King pay-per-view this Saturday. Like I said, if you ain't got Dazn, you better go get Dazn, because Chris Eubank Jr. versus Liam Smith will be on Dazn, okay? Subscribe to Dazn. Subscribe to BLK Prime. Also, gotta give up my boys. Listen, there are some fights that are not shown in the States. So if you want to see fights that are not shown in the States, you need to get NordVPN. 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 If you're a hardcore fan like me, I want to see all the fights. I don't like when I can't see fights. What? So I had to go get NordVPN, and I'm watching all the fights. I ain't missing no fights. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, again, my name is Terry Higgins. It's After the Fight. Don't miss the fights. I'll be back after this weekend's fights. I'll be back.